Hope you're having a good night. Everything is going wrong in my studio here. I was taking the time trying to get the feed out on Instagram, and I don't think that it's there. Well, I'm glad to see some of you from last night are here again. Good to see you. I'll get to your comments in a minute. Tonight, we're going to watch an American Prayer documentary that I made last year and released. Don't forget, next week, January 17th, make it, I know some of you are repeat. You've seen me online a couple of times before, so I'm not going to do the same thing over and over again. All right. So tonight we are going to watch an American Prayer, which is a documentary that I made.
Former lead singer of the Misfits, banned from a major music festival for retweeting Alex Jones and Paul Watson because we're all Nazis. Even though anybody that knows Nazis don't like us.
It was absolutely crushing the backlash that happened to me. I mean, no record companies were interested in what I was doing, and certainly no booking agency here or in Europe would touch me with a 10-foot pole.
The reason that I'm doing this is because I had been asked to make a statement about the European tour, having to do with the European tour. So the European tour is happening in February into March. It's called the Sticks and Stones tour. And I haven't been to Europe in a couple of years. So we're fixing to go over there in February and March. It's called the Sticks and Stones Tour. There are more dates that are being added. but it starts on Wednesday, February 18th, and it runs to March 9th. There's other dates in Spain, Portugal. Now, this tour has been being worked on for a couple of months. This is just not like an overnight sort of thing. And when it first, started, it was going fine. And then, of course, all the usual things with the promoters canceling stuff and freaking out started to happen. So I was asked to make a statement. Now, this is, and of course, I'm so tired of making statements because there's plenty of stuff that's online that tells the story of, who I am and what I'm about. There's no record of me anywhere of being some sort of monster, Nazi monster that hates white people or that loves white people and hates everybody else. That's just not fact. There's plenty of, whether it's on through, the Michael Graves show that I do or Radio Deadly, there's a long history of things that you can watch and get a pretty good idea of my opinions on things. But it's a complex answer. It's just like, well, it takes a minute to explain the whole thing. You have to put the story into context to understand it. It's a long answer. It's not a short answer. It's really hard to condense it down. And so last year there was, after coming off all the acoustic tour stuff, and again on the X account, there's a long running history of that. There's a catalog of that. I put it all together in a documentary, in long form, in basic chronological order. And I shaped it around the song that I wrote in American Prayer, as you'll see. So I was asked to make a statement, a statement. And I was like, what does that mean? What am I going to say? I come in peace. I've always said that I come in peace. So here's the communication this is the communication about needing a statement, that this particular venue or this region, we're getting a lot of requests for statements from newspapers and magazines about why a member of Proud Boys, a fascism organization, is playing at our venue. We need something with urgency to address this. If it is in fact true, then I cannot let this show continue. I hope you understand our position. We were unaware of any of this when you booked it. Now, how am I supposed to respond to that? How does one then respond back to that? I mean, I'm not a part of a fascist organization. I'm just a musician, man. I just want to play music. If I say no to that, but that's the thing. Like, if I say no to that, obviously I'm not what these people are saying that I am, so it's a longer answer. So what I said back, what I wrote back as a statement was that there's been a lot of discussion and speculation online about my personal views and my associations with people, like was just mentioned. And I understand why some people may have questions or concerns, right? Because you go on the internet and you read all these crazy things or see these crazy things. Groups and individuals can often be broadly labeled or interpreted through actions and events that do not reflect every person connected to them. While I recognize that certain groups have been portrayed in ways that have caused understandable alarm, Those portrayals do not represent my personal beliefs or values, which I've been saying for decades. I do not support hate, racism, violence, or the exclusion of anyone based on race, religion, gender, identity. I've never brought a political message, extremist ideology, or hate speech into my music or my live performances. As if you watched last night, I broadcast that show from Sao Paulo, Brazil, from November 1st, which was less than 2 months ago. And it wasn't right. I mean, it definitely wasn't some sort of Klan rally. So in light of that, this is going to be my statement. The documentary that I made called An American Prayer is my statement. Before we go to it, I'm just going to scroll through these comments and see what's happening here. And then I'm playing American Prayer for you. Yeah, so the European tour coming up. My statement is the following. An American Prayer is a documentary. This tells the story of me, of getting into the Misfits before, and then we travel through and chronologically from conservative punk on through to where we're at. So without further ado, I present to you An American Prayer.
Well, guess what? He, of course, after Glenn Danzig left the Misfits, was the lead singer for a long time, but hundreds of great songs. But the left canceled him. And this just illustrates how they're waging war on people's free speech.
Okay, so now you're in the Misfits, but you've done so much since then. Yeah. So talk to me about moving on from something that's that exciting, because that's a big decision that you have made. So you're in a successful band now. You're making a living. You're a freaking rock star, right? You're not only in the band, you're in a very hip band.
Yeah.
You know, a really edgy, really loved band.
Yeah.
With a fanatical kind of audience, right?
Absolutely.
How do you walk away from something like that? How do you move on?
It was absolutely crushing, the backlash that happened to me. I mean, no record companies were interested in what I was doing, and certainly no booking agency here or in Europe would touch me with a 10-foot pole.
Michael Graves. Please stand by for broadcast. This is the Radio Deadly Show.
All right, what's up, everybody? Greetings to all of you out there in Facebook land, wherever you're at. Tonight, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I think up to this point, I've done a lot of talking. What I'm going to first start with here is I'm going to start with this prayer I posted. That's how we're going to start. Heavenly Father, our hearts are heavy and broken. Please give us eyes to see and ears to hear where your Spirit is working. Help us to see every person the way you see them. Break our hearts for what breaks yours. And let us not merely say that we love each other. Give us strength to mourn with those who mourn, to weep with those who weep. Let your justice roll like waters, and let your righteousness and love flow from us like rivers of living water. Purify our hearts, Lord, and fill us with genuine hunger for justice and mercy and for true peace. Heavenly Father, let justice and mercy start with me. In Jesus' name, amen.
I've come out here to a spot on the farm that we call Fairy Trussels because this is one of the magical parts of the farm where in the springtime when the kids come down here and everything is thawed out and the creek is running the way that it should be. Right now everything is frozen. I'm actually standing on top of the creek. Woo.
Well, guess what? He, of course, after Glenn Danzig left the Misfits, was the lead singer for a long time, hundreds of great songs. And he was one of the headliners at a major festival in England. But the left canceled him because, well, he tweeted Alex Jones and Paul Joseph Watson. And this just illustrates how they're waging war on people's free speech. It is the Chinese social score system where you can't travel, you can't have bank accounts, anything. And then they also always build straw men that we're Nazis.
In recent years, the phenomenon of cancel culture has targeted figures across the spectrum of entertainment, often leaving little room for nuance or a deeper understanding of the individuals involved.
Cancel culture is the uptick of campaigns to get people fired, expelled, deplatformed, etc. for their opinions that started really accelerating around 2014 and really
I just want to jump in here. Because Instagram has just joined us, and we've gone out to all the people that are on Instagram. So what you're watching here, or what is on right now, is an American Prayer. I've been asked to make a statement for the European tour coming up, and because it's a complex answer and it's a long answer, and it's an answer that I'd rather give in long form. I gave in short form to the people that I need to give again, but I wanted to present an American Prayer, which is a documentary that I made last year about my journey and about some of these things that I've been asked to address. So let's continue with an American Prayer.
Cancel culture is the uptick of campaigns to get people fired, expelled, deplatformed, etc. for their opinions that started really accelerating around 2014 and really went off the rails around 2017 and after. We're trying to explain cancel culture as being a historical period. The idea that essentially like people will look back at this being like the age of cancel culture the same way we look back at other mass censorship incidents like the first and second Red Scare.
One such figure is Graves, the former lead singer of the iconic band The Misfits, from 1995 to 1998, and again from 1998 to 2000, whose career and personal reputation have come under fire due to allegations of his involvement with the Proud Boys, a group with controversial ideologies.
In 1840, when Alexis de Tocqueville came here, he said, "America is a nation of clubs." He was coming from a nation of homos called France. But outside of that weak province, the West was a nation of clubs. The Knights of Columbus, the Know-Nothings, the Shriners. We always had these clubs. And Gloria Steinem decreed them sexist in the 80s, and that was the end of clubs. So I thought, why don't we bring this back? Why don't we have a men's club? No parameters, just dudes. You have to be born male, by the way. And believe it or not, that has actually come up. I've had bull dykes come and go, "Can I be part of this?"
However, a closer examination of Graves' situation reveals a more complex narrative that deserves to be considered before jumping to conclusions.
Before music, I wanted to be a pastor. I wanted to be a God man. When I was very, very young, the first thing I wanted to do was, I felt I had a calling to be a priest or a preacher, a man of God. And I felt that was my calling.
You wanted to inspire people, even at a young age.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
You just do it now through your music.
My parents, my mom and dad always used to take my brother and my sisters to New York City around Christmas time. And I remember being very, very young. And we were in the city, and it was the first time I ever saw homeless people. And I remember that's all I could think about when I saw these homeless people on the streets. I had never seen that before. And then all of a sudden, the dream in my heart changed.
I joined the band about a year out of high school. It was a chance meeting with those guys. It was being at the right place at the right time. I was working out of a studio making a demo in Lodi, New Jersey, and the guy that owned the studio called me in one day as I was cutting vocals. You know, you're really talented. There's this band that I know I've known since they were young, and they're looking for a new singer. They said they're called the Misfits, and he gave me the phone number, and I called them up, and I arranged an audition. The band was very on the fence about me. They were very on the fence about getting any singer, really. So I was around for months and months. I auditioned the night before my 20th birthday. And so I was around all summer.
Touring?
Well, no, just I was around with them. This was before the band even announced that they were coming back. October rolled around and they still hadn't found a singer. I was still around. There was a band called Typo Negative, which was very, very popular. I was a huge fan of Typo Negative. And again, this is a great example of how my life goes. I was a huge fan of this band. So Typo Negative got in touch with the Misfits and said, because it's the Misfits, you gotta come out around Halloween. Makes no sense to come out Christmas time, right? So Typo Negative said, why don't you come out? We sold out the Roseland Ballroom in New York City. You guys come out on Halloween. It'll be great. Reintroduce the band and you're off and running. They said, we'll do that, but we don't have a singer. So the Misfits asked Pete Steele, the lead singer of Typo Negative, to do it. And he said, yeah, but I don't know the songs. So they called me up and said, you want to come into the city and teach Pete Steele these Misfit songs? Again, Pete Steele was a hero of mine, so of course I said, yeah, absolutely. We will go to Brooklyn and we start playing these songs. I start teaching Pete the songs. And about 15, 20 minutes in, he stops everything. And he puts his arm around me and he says, this kid is your singer. He sings these songs better than I could ever imagine, and this is your guy. And from then on, I was the lead singer of the band.
So don't forget January 17th, 2026. January 17th, that's like next Saturday. I will be doing a live online acoustic performance. Starts at about 4 p.m. It'll run about 3 hours, 4 to 7 p.m. A live online amazing acoustic performance from January 17th. 2026, 4 to 7 p.m. You can go to the QR code that is up in the left-hand corner of the screen right now to get access to the performance. Or you can go to, that's my X handle is @RadioDeadly. You can get access there as well. Pinned to my profile is the link to the access page. So that's January 17th, 2026, live online acoustic performance. If you have any questions about any of this, Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com.
And turn the tape machine on about a blessed life.
Yeah.
But, you know, you were born blessed with great parents, obviously, in a
Yeah.
great country, you know, with great opportunity around you. But you made your life blessed.
Yes.
I mean, you did, Michael. The
Yes.
fact of the matter is you learned your craft, you work hard, you chased the Misfits for a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Did whatever they asked you to do to get into it. And then, okay, so now you're in the Misfits, but you've done so much since then.
Yeah.
So talk to me about moving on from something that's that exciting, because that's a big decision that you had
Yeah.
to make. So you're in a successful band now. You're making a living. You're a freaking rock star, right? You're not only in a band, you're in a very hip band.
Yeah.
You know, a really edgy, really loved band.
Yeah.
With a fanatical kind of audience, right? Fan base.
Absolutely.
How do you walk away from something like that? How do you move on?
You decided to speak your mind. You
Yeah.
decided to talk about your faith, your politics.
In 2004, I was listening to the radio. I was listening to WABC. It was coming out of New York, 770 AM, and I heard this guy, Andrew Wilkow. I heard him playing these bumpers, and then I heard him play the Misfits, and it stopped me in my tracks. And I called his show.
One of your songs?
I couldn't believe it. So I called the show and got him on the phone, and we started talking about conservatism and punk rock music and heavy music, and we became friends. Andrew was working with Nick Rizzuto at the time, and they had started something called conservativepunk.com. Conservativepunk.com was a website, and it was in opposition to something that was called punkvoter.com.
I'm pretty sure I still hear Wilkow mentioning that on his show today. I did not know you were part of the start of that. He still talks about that to this day on his show.
You know, you sent me copies of emails from promoters and club owners that, and especially the ones in Europe, that will not let your band play because of your use. I was shocked and offended.
They wrote me a letter that says they will not support ideas like these being spread or the people that actively spread them.
But I think once they get to know you and know your music and know the person that I know, that they'll find that you're just like them, except, you, like I said, you like ghost stories for older kids.
Absolutely, it's a stereotype.
A couple American clubs that won't play your music either, right? Or let you play?
Directly because they got hold of a New York Times article.
Yeah, his band is a little on the creepy side, and their lyrics are on the creepy side, but it's all for entertainment. It's unbelievable that the liberals who champion free speech and entertainment and shows would come down on this guy for simply disagreeing.
I was dead in the water. I had released a couple of records. I started playing acoustic.
The last train's leaving.
I had committed to going out on another tour. And the past few that I had done were disasters. The past couple of tours that I had done were disasters financially, sleeping on the side of the road, sleeping in the van, piling into hotel rooms. It's like 8, 9 guys in one hotel room. So I committed to doing this tour, even though I didn't want to. I was depressed. I was miserable. I didn't want to do it anymore. It was miserable. I said I had been canceled and banned and attacked and lied about. So I watched Paradise Lost.
You're watching KATB Channel 7, the spirit of Arkansas.
Today marks the 5-year anniversary of a West Memphis murder case that gained national attention. The bodies of 3 second graders were found mutilated in a ditch. Now, one of the 3 men convicted for the murders, Damian Eccles, has prompted a hearing to try to get his conviction thrown out. Norris.
That hearing started today in Jonesboro, where the trial also took place. Damian Eccles is trying to avoid being executed by lethal injection. He's claiming he didn't get a fair trial because of misrepresentation by his attorneys.
4 years ago, an Arkansas jury found him guilty of murdering 3 second graders in a horrific, ritualistic sacrifice. As our senior correspondent Tim Sullivan reports, he wants a new trial and a chance to live.
After a month of investigation, police arrested Eccles and 2 of his teenage friends, Jesse Miskelly and Jason Baldwin. Police theorized the murders had been part of a satanic ritual. In addition to local media, the case attracted a documentary team that produced a film called Paradise Lost for HBO. As a result of the film, a nationwide support group has sprung up to help the young men they call the West Memphis Three.
One cold January morning, soon after or somewhere out of a dark, depressed slumber, I watched Paradise Lost. I had already seen it years ago, but JV had given a copy of it to me for Christmas that year. I was dreading to have to begin preparations for another tour I reluctantly agreed to, so I watched Paradise Lost instead. So I wrote a letter to Damien and got in contact with his wife Lori and told him about my idea to promote Almost Home on tour and help raise money for the defense fund. I got a message back from Lori and eventually from Damien that expressed their gratitude and their appreciation for what I wanted to do to help. My mother agreed to take out a loan for me to finance an RV after I told her about my plan to promote discussion about guilt and innocence, persecution and injustice. I wanted to maybe inspire some sort of substance and meaning. I wanted to, as I always tried to do, use my talent, these gifts that were given to me, to work towards a common cause that was righteous and good. One bright, new, magical, beautiful winter morning, the Almost Home campaign was born.
January 17th, 2026, Saturday, January 17th, 2026. I'll be doing a live online amazing acoustic performance. It starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can get ticket access on my X account at Radio Deadly. That's at Radio Deadly. X at Radio Deadly, or there's a QR code up in the corner to get ticket access I should put it up on the website. We'll get it up on the website ASAP. That's January 17th, 2026, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, a live, online, amazing acoustic performance. Get ticket access at Radio Deadly on X. Any questions, comments, suggestions? Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com. officialmichaelgraves.com.
May 12, 2006, halfway through the Almost Home tour, Damien had his first art show called A Skeleton Key Production at the 111 Minute Gallery in San Francisco, featuring Damien's art and over 30 other artists to raise funds for his defense. It included music and speaking and poetry readings by Henry Rollins, Jonathan Richman, Penelope Houston, Jello Biafra, and Jacob Pitts. That night, I had the opportunity to play the first song Damien ever wrote, the first song we ever wrote together, called Frostbite.
Your hands are so cold, my love, beneath these leafless winter trees. Your lips are ocean blue, my love, and have ceased to call my name. It's oh so cold in here.
This film tells the tale of three teens who wore black, listened to Metallica, and, perhaps as a result, were convicted in the 1993 killing of three young boys.
My quest to try to understand this all leads me to Salem, Massachusetts, where over 400 years ago the Salem witch trials took place. In early colonial times, there was almost no separation of church and state. People very much believed in the direct appearance of God's disfavor in everyday life. Prosperity was equal to your adherence to church life. It was here in this village that a few young girls who were thought to be possessed accused a black woman named Tituba of being a witch. The girls made remarkable claims and told wild tales that were used against people in court. Over 200 people were charged with witchcraft crimes, and over half of them were imprisoned. The bodies of those that were executed were buried in shallow, unmarked graves, and their limbs could be seen protruding from the ground after a hard rain.
Your hair is white with frost, my love. Your skin is alabaster. I'll sit here in the cleansing, my love, till the angels come.
They were among the many who held to the truth, even in the face of certain death.
Everybody in the town and in the courtroom and on the jury are all blinded by their fantasies, satanic cult, satanic views.
So very cold out here. Please don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Very cold out here. Don't fall asleep.
We're wondering if the true killers were actually captured.
And I was motivated. I felt that fire inside again because I wanted to get involved. Eventually, I began to communicate with Damien, who was on death row in Arkansas, Mara Leverett, who's the author of Devil's Knot, an amazing group of people that I got involved with, and I started what was called the Almost Home campaign. It was the perfect vehicle for me as I transitioned from all of this, the wreckage of conservative punk and all of the hate and all of the damage that all of the canceling and attacking and bad-mouthing and blacklisting and all of that, the Almost Home campaign was a perfect vehicle to talk about that in a way that wouldn't trigger people.
Superman and all his friends. The Spider-Man is hanging from the ceiling. The bad guys are on the loose and they can't stop stealing. An evil plan, the world will fall into his hands. Won't stop screaming, babies teething. Won't stop screaming, I can't make it stop.
The case of the West Memphis 3 was the perfect example of that, because when you build a straw man, which Damien was, and what everybody could then look to as the boogeyman, by the forming of this false narrative, everybody just started to look at Damien, Jesse, and Jason, these three teenagers who were being falsely accused.
At the heart of Graves's controversy lies his outspoken nature about his conservative beliefs. In a cultural landscape that often leans towards the liberal, especially within the punk community, Graves's position is indeed an anomaly. However, it's crucial to differentiate between someone's personal beliefs and direct actions that harm others. Graves has consistently argued that his intentions are not to propagate hate or division, but to share his perspective, an exercise of his First Amendment rights.
The First Amendment gives Americans 5 basic freedoms: freedom of speech, press, petition, assembly, and religion. While all 5 are important, perhaps freedom of speech is talked about the most. Free speech is the cornerstone of our democracy. Although what you say can have consequences, like losing friends or a job, it gives Americans the right to express opinions without government censorship or control. And more importantly, you can't go to jail for expressing your opinion. It not only protects the speech that people like, but speech that people don't. Because when it comes to free speech, either everyone is protected or no one is at all. It allows citizens to support political movements and candidates. It gives people the power to call out government corruption and abuse. And most importantly, it empowers people to give unpopular opinions. The civil rights movement is a perfect example of free speech in action. During the 1950s and 60s, civil rights activists such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. were able to use free speech as a tool to force change within society. By exercising their voice, civil rights activists were able to outlaw racial discrimination that plagued the nation. But in today's politically charged climate, some people believe the government should restrict certain speech. But thankfully, because of the First Amendment, everything from car commercials to fiery protests are protected.
This dude's playing Misfits music, so I called him up. And we became fast friends. And he said, hey, you want to be involved in this conservative punk thing? I said, absolutely I do. Okay, so the press release says, as of January 31st, 2004, conservativepunk.com officially launches. The site has been created to educate, inform, and increase the little-known demographic of the conservative punk. This site has been created to counteract the multiple liberal sites on the web, which are run by only a small number of punk artists who are choosing to make up the minds of thousands of voters. Conservativepunk.com will finally allow conservatives who have decided to keep their punk ideals alive a place to air their thoughts on government, liberal counterparts, and music. It is being released this year to help inform America's youth about the upcoming election and let them make up their own minds, rather than push liberal sentiment down their throats.
Get paid tonight?
At all.
At all?
At all. Guy just disappeared.
I talked to him on the phone.
Oh, you did? You felt justified to just bounce after talking about Jesus all night to us?
He met a girl that he really liked, so he went to chill with her at the Holiday Inn.
Well, I hope he's having a good time at the Holiday Inn. Probably bought the room.
Oh yeah. Didn't get paid.
Shouldn't have expected too much from someone named Nathan.
Cedar Falls, everybody.
They didn't get paid again tonight. No money.
America is in a bad mood. Less than a quarter of people have a positive outlook for the country.
Very well. This is no surprise to me. Things are so bad at every level of our lives.
As you can tell, there's lots of disillusionment, but I think that disillusionment comes with a certain amount of hope.
It's not something at all. With the past.
This is one of the most exciting things I've ever done. I'm a humble kid from northeastern New Jersey. Be able to play Rock in Rio is the greatest thing ever, man. It's like the Super Bowl.
No CBGBs, ele tá com o set list na mão e que eu vou espiar, vamos ver com que música que vai começar. O desgraçado dobrou o set list. Agora foi. Não há mais tempo para nada. Rock in Rio ao vivo é só no Multishow.
Saturday, January 17th, 2026, from 4 to 7 p.m. I will be doing a live online acoustic performance. You can get the link to access on my X account at Radio Deadly. At Radio Deadly on the profile. You click on the link. Or if you're watching, you can scan the QR code in the left-hand corner of the screen. You can also reach out, Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com, Michael at officialmichaelgraves.com. See you next week.
The artist. Beyond the allegations, Graves' contribution to punk music, particularly through his tenure with the Misfits, has been significant. His vocal talents and songwriting have earned him a place in the hearts of many fans worldwide. It's essential to remember that artists are multifaceted individuals with a range of views and experiences that inform their creativity. Canceling Graves based solely on alleged affiliations risks overshadowing the broader spectrum of his contributions to music and punk culture.
I've lost count of the amount of people who tell me, either in person or online, both celebrities and non-celebrities, in journalism, in Hollywood, in sports, in business, how they're all terrified of letting slip their conservative political beliefs because they know they'd be hounded out of their careers. This is the de facto communist Chinese social credit score being implemented in the West. Conservatives, libertarians being socially ostracized, financially sabotaged, and having their careers jeopardized simply for daring to think for themselves. Being refused financial services, being refused bank accounts for engaging in hate. What constitutes hate? Anything that challenges far-left progressive dogma. This is where we're at. This is the culmination of contrived moral panic and frenzied political hysteria. If you want to support the Misfits vocalist Mikhail Graves, he's playing at an alternate venue in Edmonton, one that actually supports diversity of thought.
And we sold it out. And it was it was incredible.
Oh, and if you didn't know, this is my second channel that you watch.
All right, so there you go. That's part of Paul Watson's report. So the former lead singer of the Misfits, banned from a major music festival for retweeting Alex Jones and Paul Watson because we're all Nazis. Even though anybody that knows Nazis don't like us because they want to own the right wing. No, liberty owns the right wing. So get that through your stinking heads. I hate black racists, white racists, all you idiots. But it doesn't mean I'll kiss your butt if you're a brown racist trying to get in my face. I'll tell you I think you're a piece of crap.
It was absolutely crushing, the backlash that happened to me. I mean, no record companies were interested in what I was doing, and certainly no booking agency here or in Europe would touch me with a 10-foot pole.
Q Howard. I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat.
So at this point in the story, this is where I start Radio Deadly.
Newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore! I want you to get up right now. Get up, go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell.
Not only am I a talk show host on AR1.TV, your voice in Arkansas, I am also a musician. What's up, everybody? Today is drums. I'm going over to Studio B now to start working on the drums. We got Chuck Treese on drums. Believe that? That's right.
I'm a director from the East Coast. I'll put you in a movie and make it famous.
I want to come in on that like that quick one, like down, down, down.
You gotta let out like a hook, dude. You gotta hook. You gotta do the hook before the bass line.
Hook, wow.
This looks like some sort of ghost town where something went down. They might still be after me. Caught in a conspiracy. Ooh, fun news headlines. Gigantic hordes that are out of control. That I'm on a fight to kill everyone. So they fortify the city where they fear the monsters just might come.
And the beginning of the end tour was 2017. And now we are in the year 2017.
There was a picture of me on stage from about a year before July of 2020. And I'm doing this. And it was a picture taken where I'm on stage about 2 or 3 songs in, and my monitors are a complete disaster. And so I'm communicating with my front of house engineer to work out the problems in the monitors. And about 30 to 40 seconds after the start of that endeavor, my front of house engineer nailed it. Everything was where it was supposed to be. My voice, the guitar, the bass, I could hear the drums, I could hear everything. There was no more feedback. I gave the signal that it was perfect. And right as I did that, Arturo Santaella was in the pit and took a picture right at that moment. And so I put that picture up of me doing that sign, and in all caps, put I'm a proud Western chauvinist and I'm unapologetic about building the modern world. And one of the hashtags was Proud Boys. And that was it. Been on the stream here since the whole fallout and the cancellation and the deletion of all of my social media accounts last week. I didn't delete them. They were taken down. Don't feel bad for me. I have been through this before. I knew it was coming. It's okay to be an individual. It's okay to have your own thoughts. Even if the rest of, or what seemingly looks like the rest of the herd doesn't necessarily agree with you. What's happening on social media is not the real fucking world. There is more to life than Twitter and Facebook. Michael Graves is not lost. What is lost is for the guys that have walked away, all of the sacrifice, all of the hard work, all of the time spent to build and become better people, musicians, artists, a better team, a better crew, all of the hard work that we put into becoming what we were. All of the dreams that were dreamt together, all of the things that we were all reaching for, all of the gain from the last time this happened and Michael Graves was canceled and hated and threatened and blacklisted. You can't come to Europe. You can't come to South America. Anybody that knows me or has worked with me, including the guys that I am with and were with. We were a class act. We were professional. Most of the time we were on time. We were inspiring. We were fun. We were respectful. That is our legacy. That is our reputation. My reputation stands for itself. My body of work as a musician is good to go. You can't affect what is unaffectable. Just because your mind changes because of some sort of outside stimulus, from some false narrative, or from the things that cause you to now have a different opinion about me based on things that are not true. I love you all very, very much. Nothing will stop me until I breathe my last breath. It will be to continue to make great music and art and entertainment that I can share with you and be able to talk to you and interact with you as closely as I possibly can, to inspire you, to motivate you, so that we can go through this world together and feel good about it. The mob that is attacking me and you right now, most of them have never been to a Michael Graves show. What most people think I am not. If you want to just meet up, and me and you and a couple of friends will go to the park, we'll hold some signs, I'll play some songs, boom, Ameripalooza. My point is that this is not just a one thing, just Michael Graves showing up, having some big festival. And this is all going to culminate on Halloween in Austin, Texas. And then I'm going to stay in and around Texas, and I'm going to record a new album.
Well, this is awesome. I can literally hear the crew behind me just screaming and hollering because they're all excited about this too.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? It's the Michael Graves Show. Glad you could make it. Thank you very much for coming. All right. Today we got on the show Michael Graves. All right. Welcome to the show, Michael Graves.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Why are you posting the OK sign? Why just making people mad? Can't make people mad. Posting the OK sign. Saying stuff that you're
OK sign,
proud of shit. When you don't even know what the hell kind of shit you're proud of. And it's just not proud of stuff. Saying that people don't know what they're going to do, where they're going to go. And just making trouble for people. Why do you gotta post them things, man? I'm not even saying nothing. You could just keep your mouth shut.
I believe strongly that...
Well, I believe that you're a fucking Nazi. I know that you're a Nazi because the paper right here in front of me fucking tells me so. Says you're a Nazi. Signing with your other friends the different signs that you do. So you're a fucking Nazi. Nazi. That's what I'm saying.
I don't have a cult or Nazi hateful anything.
I know your Illuminati called this Nazi media sensational music. I know it's in there. Kind of
satanic shit you pushing. Hate, there's no place for hate here on my show. No place for hate. None at all. You better get fucking vaccinated, get yourself a free donut, get some sugar in your fucking brain, so that maybe you can wake the fuck up, understand what everybody hate you!
There's a lot of things out there that are happening to me and are being said about me, and today it's crazy that it's a courageous fucking thing to have me come to your place, come to your venue and play. Because I never made music for anybody, for people on the left, and I never made music for people on the right or people in the center. I make music for everybody. I'm a theater kid, right? So, I was always with the people that were outcast and made fun of and looked strange, or maybe they walked weird. Like, I was down with those kids. I was one of them. I was a creative and an introvert and a little eccentric and messed up myself, but the beautiful thing about music is that whatever it does for us, it does something for us individually, but it does something for us collectively too. And that's why when you come up, after all these years, I was right out of high school when I joined the Misfits. And when you come up and you show me pictures and we share those things together, in the fog of every fucking thing that's happening, it's in those moments that we hug or we connect that makes things very, very clear. And I want you to know that I'm connected to every single one of you because I write these songs in my own private space. Thank you. I write these songs in my own private space. A song like Dig Up Her Bones or Crying on Saturday Night. And I'm writing about things that have happened to me, right? I'm just writing about Michael. But then when these songs go out into the world and they find you, we don't know each other, but it's like the song is saying something about you. It's the same thing. It's having the same effect inside of me, and it has inside of you. You might be seeing different things or experiencing different things, but that's the beautiful part, right? It's sovereign to you. It becomes something maybe very different for you. Very much. I've done plenty of things wrong every day. I am a Christian. But I'm not perfect, man. So I'm not saying I'm this perfect person. I feel very, very blessed to be the one that is really carrying on this legacy and doing my best with it. I can deal with criticism, no problem. I have my opinions, but there's not hate in my heart. There never was. Everybody deserves respect and dignity. I was just trying to survive. The band is just awesome, and we're gonna deliver a powerful, amazing show that's not only the American Psycho Famous Monsters music, but we're playing some classic Misfits. We're playing some classic Ramones songs. It's magical. Yeah, almost 3 generations. Young people that obviously weren't even born when those records came out. And they're discovering the music, and it resonates with them, and so it's an amazing thing. It's my honor. things about me being calling the South American Latin people dirty. It was just a rumor and a very, very bad thing that was done against me.
Does anybody really think that I hate people from different races, people of different religions, whether you're a man or a woman or sexual orientation, what you think you are? I don't care. I'm still out there. I'm doing national media and standing up for the things that I'm standing up for. Fairness, true equality, and how to stop the violence, and where this violence is coming from, and where all this brokenness and meaningless and depression and suicide and violence and drug abuse. I'm not working on dividing people. I'm not working on walking away from people and breaking things up. I'm not interested in chaos or destruction. But they say that they're standing up for things, but then at the same time, they're not standing up for anything.
No matter what the press writes about me, no matter what you read on the internet, or someone might tell you, I love you, I honor you, I respect you no matter who you are, or what you are, or where you came from. Whether you're white, or black, or green, or blue, or gay, or straight, or small, or big, I love you, I respect you, I'm with you, I love you. If I had a superpower, I would wish to be able to know each and every one of your names so I could shout it from the stage. I love you all so much, I really do. I'm not quitting on you, I'm not, I promise I'm not. And don't you ever quit on yourselves, all right? You take care of yourselves, take care of the person next to you, and we're gonna all be okay. I love you very much, I'll see you again soon.
Cancel culture. Cancel culture. Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Cancel culture. Cancel culture.
Michael Graves, the former singer of the legendary punk rock band The Misfits, is scheduled to tour the U.S. in a couple of days.
But he says that 4 venues have canceled his shows because he's an outspoken conservative.
I've been on the forefront here of cancel culture, and I've been dealing with this sort of behavior for now 17 years. I first started to write and speak out about conservative.
It's a really difficult, strange time in the Michael Graves world. I was picturing hanging myself in the bus. That's no lie. People, just because you disagree with them means that you're wrong. And when you disagree with somebody, if you have any other opinion other than what they believe, then you're a threat physically to them. You're a threat to all things, and that has never, ever boded well in this world.
My Twitter was taken down, my Facebook was taken down, Instagram was taken down, upwards of 250,000, really almost 500,000 followers. That's how I do my business. I have children, I have a family. Again, I've been in this industry for 25 years, and I've been canceled. I've been taken out of the world of music, and my ability to provide for my family is being attacked. I'm not the only one here, but this sort of thing needs to be called out, and it needs to stop. Where if you don't fit into, what the internet's saying that you can say, or what the industry is saying that you can say, you're just removed. You're removed, and you're not allowed to conduct business. Right. How can a society function like that?
Yet another example of communist China's social credit score arriving in the West. Michael Graves, former vocalist of the iconic punk band The Misfits, had his sold-out shows at next month's Up and Downtown Music Festival in Edmonton cancelled. Why? Did he commit a grave crime? Is he the latest victim of the Me Too movement? Did he fall terribly ill? No, he retweeted Paul Joseph Watson. That's right, Graves' shows were cancelled because he retweeted yours truly, InfoWars, Breitbart, and defended... Oh, wait for it. He defended free speech. The festival's artistic director, the guy who cancelled him, Brent Oliver, said this: "It's the support of Alex Jones. If you go in through his tweets and replies, he's tweeting at Hillary Clinton, calling her a criminal. He's retweeting some British right-wing dude that I don't even want to know his name." And that's me. It's all, again, it's so close to the sun of guys like Richard Spencer, president of the white nationalist think tank National Policy Institute, that I just don't feel comfortable with it. I should also be clear, Oliver says, this is not about politics. Oh, yeah, right. I understand conservative politics, but this is not conservative politics. To me, this is alt-right hate, and that was the feeling of the board and contrary to our policy, so we removed him. But wait, neither I or Alex Jones are alt-right. I make videos attacking the alt-right. So yes, it is about politics, and yes, you cancelled his gigs because he's a conservative and you're an intolerant moron. This is what Michael Graves, the singer, said. "I'm in the game of raising people up and giving them a victorious attitude and telling them it's okay to be you and to be strong and to believe in themselves and the people around them. I want to lift people up. I'm not looking to tear people down." Sounds pretty hateful to me. So once again, we see conservatives being socially and financially punished because of their political beliefs. Because God forbid should any celebrity stray out of line and be allowed to hold diverse opinions. No, they must be punished.
Have these generations of people that they just look at their phone or they just look at a headline and that's what reality is. Well, it's got to be this way because Beyonce said it or because CNN said it or whatever or because the headline on the newspaper says it's so, and then that's it.
And this cancel culture stuff to where we're going to make the rules, and the rules are that whatever we say goes, and whoever doesn't say this is out. Because that's when Instagram and Facebook got taken down. So it was just like Instagram, Facebook, the fan club pages all get taken down. Boom, everything starts disappearing. Now everything's gone, right? Your worst nightmare, because everything lives on these fucking platforms. Somebody hit a button and years worth of work Gone. Gone. And then what filled the vacuum were all these lazy, entitled, vile, angry, wretched, foul-mouthed, horrid, disgusting, putrid, dumb, lost, debaucherous, loser hordes of freaks in my inbox, on my phone. Insane. Insane. The memes of me getting shot and licking boots. It's incredible. And right away, there was the vacuum of official Michael Graves was gone. Everybody grabbed their Michael Graves real estate. I am against all forms of racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia. I'm against all forms of individual or organizational things that would exempt people based on their skin color or what God they believe in or where they came from, whether it was outer space or another country. I'm an equal opportunity lover. I try to see the world as best I can through the eyes of God, the way that God sees them. And God doesn't see color. Martin Luther King Jr. said that you judge people on the content of their character and not the color of their skin. I know I don't have to say it, but I am not a racist.
I'm the anomaly because I'm so closely associated with punk rock. People go on the internet and start to inundate the venue or the promoters with messages that that you just booked a white supremacist. You know that you just booked a homophobe at your club, and if you continue allowing this, we're going to show up. The mob is going to show up, and we're going to do damage to your club. I get threats. I get personal threats. These promoters are getting personal threats, so they just fold. They don't want any part of it.
I kind of lost my way. I was looking at everything that was happening to me in my life as a curse and not a blessing.
For Liam and all those people out there who hurt tonight, this is called Crying on Saturday Night. See you later.
on stage, I have to remember to open my eyes because I close my eyes and it's like a dream. I can see myself young and all the things I've been through, and it's like a dream to me. And I feel overwhelmed with emotion. I can feel the energy of the crowd. The energy that I put out is equal to what it feels like inside.
I want people to leave my show stronger than they came in. Everybody's going through something, again, especially nowadays. Things are rough all over the place. And when you have a very human experience, like when you come to a Michael Graves show and I'm standing right there, you can just walk up to me and hug me and again, hear my stories of, 30 years of what I've been doing and what I've been through. I hope that motivates people. And again, I want people to leave stronger than they came.
See that? It's me doing the okay sign. I'm like, it's perfect. But this is from punknews.org. I posted that picture way back when, just because it was a really cool picture. And then after the whole okay thing came out about being white supremacist, I posted it again with the link and the article that said, this is ridiculous about this whole okay thing. The Proud Boys are one of the most talked about groups in the media right now, and also one of the most misunderstood. This article that Katie Jensen wrote about Proud Boys. One of the most talked about groups in the media right now are the Proud Boys. They're also one of the most misunderstood. The Proud Boys have really appeared on the conservative scene within the last year and have become famous for their appearance at events and protection of speakers and event attendees. Most notably, some of the people Proud Boys have been seen protecting at events are popular media personalities like Lauren Southern, Faith Goldie, Brittany Pettibone, etc. Equally as important is the Proud Boys' commitment to holding the front lines during contentious protests against Antifa, both protecting conservative women, but also the elderly and those at risk. They've become a welcome face in their black and gold trimmed shirts, and they often back and support events centered around Trump, freedom of speech, or conservative organized rallies and public speaking events. People that love freedom, people that love family, people that love being left alone, people that love having their own business and making their own choices and building their own things, regardless of what the mob wants them to do or charge them with. That's not part of the article. That's me making this longer than it needs to be. The Proud Boys have been mentioned over the last few months multiple times in mainstream media, but mainstream media always creates an alternate narrative to what they actually are about. They've been constantly misrepresented, constantly misquoted, and demonized.
It's time to set the record straight and shine a light on what the Proud Boys are actually about.
I started a men's club called the Proud Boys, and we have one caveat, and that is you have to be a Western chauvinist. Now, liberals are lazy, so they hear the word chauvinist and they assume male chauvinist, and that's why I use that word, because they're too lazy to look it up, and it just means a nationalist, a patriot. And you have to think the West is the best. And it exploded. There's thousands of members all over the world. There's Proud Boys Africa. There's Proud Boys Japan. We've got about 5 different divisions in Australia. And I just made it up. Like we're called Proud Boys because I went to one of my kids' music recitals and some ponce got up there, and while everyone's playing the piano and the violin and doing stuff they tried, he gets up and he goes, "Proud of your boy, I'll make you proud of your boy." It's some song from Aladdin. So we made up these rules. There's just like the Knights of Columbus, there's 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree. What's the 2nd degree, Gav? And I went, you have to get beaten up by 5 men for how long? Until you can name 5 breakfast cereals. Done. 3rd degree. What's the 3rd degree, Gav? You have to quit porn and get a tattoo. Done. It's massive. I was saying to Ann Coulter the other day, I'd love to have you come and do a talk at one of our meetups, but you're a woman. I don't know how to do that. Maybe you could wear a burqa or something. You could do a video. And she goes, I don't want to come to your club. I don't want to ruin that. She goes, my father was in these kind of clubs. And one day they just disappeared. And what did men do? They were told it was sexist to congregate, so they went to strip clubs. Now, there's women there, but there's no ladies there. And you can fart, and you don't have to pull out chairs for anyone. You can tell offensive jokes. And this is considered a crime in today's day and age. And they tell us that we're racist and we're anti-Semitic. And I go, what about this black guy who's a member and this Jewish guy who's a member? And they go, they're racist and anti-Semitic. So this black guy's a white supremacist? Yes, he is. And I thought, how bizarre it is that this is a revolutionary act. Having a men's club, they used to be ubiquitous, and now it's some sort of terrorist threat. And it's considered so shocking to want to defend yourself. I was talking to a New York Times reporter, Alan Foyer, and he said, have you ever considered just sitting there and taking the beating? That would be a great statement. No. I'm not doing that. You can do that. So the moral of the story is we're going to continue being normal because that's a revolutionary act. We're going to continue being proud of ourselves. We're going to continue getting married, living in the suburbs, having kids, and loving America. And if that's a revolutionary act, then I'm a revolutionary. Thank you very much.
The reality is the Proud Boys are actually a multiracial and LGBT-friendly group. A decent majority of the Proud Boys are non-white members. That's weird. In general, the Proud Boys are a group chronically misrepresented and painted as evil, racist, and negative. They bring a sense of unity to conservatives. They bring a voice to the declining population of alpha males in the West. They are diverse, and they have a goal to remain patriots and nationalists fighting for the best of their respective nations all across the West. While mainstream media doesn't bother to investigate because it doesn't fit their narrative. So I don't know where all of this, let's have a funeral for Michael Graves because he's become this white supremacist, nationalist, Nazi person that hates everybody. and Michael Graves was canceled and hated and threatened and blacklisted. You can't come to Europe. You can't come to South America. Well, you know what? We did. It's okay to be an individual. It's okay to have your own thoughts. That is our legacy. That is our reputation. Nothing will stop me. Nothing ever could, nothing ever will. There were a lot of young kids out there, you know, young people, and for younger kids to see how we can all come together with different ideas, different backgrounds, different countries, different colors, different everything, and we can all come together and figure out a way to make beautiful things grow in the garden, right? We work hard for one another without judgment of one another and in good faith. If you think that social media and Twitter and punk rock, horror punk against racism, most of you guys don't know shit about punk rock. You really don't. You're a bunch of metalheads that have somehow crossed over into the punk rock realm and you don't know anything about it because you never really cared to.
Heavenly Father, our hearts are heavy and broken.
I had this chord progression that I actually wrote in this barn right over here.
Please give us eyes to see and ears to hear where your spirit is working.
And it never really had any sort of words.
Help us to see every person the way you see them. Break our hearts for what breaks yours.
On the way to East Texas after Austin, I stopped at Mount Carmel Center. It was the site of the Branch Davidian fire in the 90s.
Let us not merely say that we love each other. Give us strength to mourn with those who mourn, to weep with those who weep.
The energy of that place put something on my heart.
Let your justice roll like waters, and let your righteousness and love flow from us like rivers of living water.
I wrote a song called American Prayer.
Purify our hearts, Lord, and fill us with genuine hunger for justice and mercy and for true peace. Heavenly Father, let justice and mercy start with me. Amen.
servants fear, rejoice in trembling. May you lay down to sleep amongst the singing. The angels tend to you, you need some healing. My soul lays down and goes to sleep. Forgiveness, the narrow path beyond the choosing. Accepting signs you're never, ever, ever losing. Thankful for the thorns and for the bruising. Yeah, before I close my eyes, yeah, I whisper things to you. This is my American prayer. See you in the promised land when I make it there. This is my American prayer. I see you on the other side when you make it there. 'Cause I made it there when I make it there. Yeah. My American prayer. 10,000 reasons to be joyful when all it bears may come to pass. Don't try so hard, we'll end the weeping. The promised day will come at last. The narrow path beyond the choosing. Accepting signs you're never, ever, ever losing. Oh no. Thankful for the thorns and for the bruising. Yeah. Before I close my eyes, I whisper things to you. I whisper things to you. This is my American prayer. I see you in the promised land when I make it there. This is my American prayer. I see you on the other side if I make it there. When I make it there. When I make it there.
Well, guess what? He, of course, after Glenn Danzig left the Misfits, was the lead singer for a long time, with hundreds of great songs, but the left canceled him. And this just illustrates how they're waging war on people's free speech.
Cancel culture is the uptick of campaigns to get people fired, expelled, deplatformed, etc.
Talk to me about moving on from something that's that exciting, because that's a big decision that you gotta make. So you're in a successful band now, you're making a living, you're a freaking rock star, right? You're not only in a band, you're in a very hip band.
Yeah.
You know, a really edgy, really loved band.
Yeah.
With a fanatical kind of audience, right?
Absolutely.
Fan base. How do you walk away from something like that? How do you move on?